Hello and good afternoon. I'm sorry, I had to redo my video because I'm in the car now and it was too windy outside. By the time I finished recording, I realized that pretty much, like my doors, pretty much all you can hear is the wind in the background. So hopefully I can redo it again and it works out. Not really ideal place to do a video, but it's okay. So anyways, today I just had a quick little video over ways to save money when you're traveling long term. So I mainly travel long term. There has been times when I make like a trip for 2 or 3 days, but that's not typically what I do. And I just found it very helpful to save money. Now, obviously, if you just got an endless amount of money that you just don't mind blowing, $50,000 a month, for your budget, that's you. But this is for people who, be interested in saving a little bit of money while you are traveling. It's nothing wrong with kind of splurging here and there, but you never know. My last recent travel, I traveled for 6 months. Started off going to Israel. I went to every country in Central America, every country in South America. And I just found it very helpful to find these tips because I did run into some situations where I had to pay a lot of money for a visa or to get out of a country, taxes or something like that. That was unexpected. So it's always good to kind of chisel down in other areas. That way, when these unexpected areas come, they don't hit you so hard. So just a few little tips. The first tip would be saving money during transportation. Transportation is a way, it's flexible, it depends. Every country, I went to 22 countries last year, in the end of last year, within 6 months. So I got an opportunity to kind of see which one is cheaper. For example, in Panama, taxis are super cheap. A ride from the airport to my hostel was, I think, like $2 or $3. No, I think I paid $4, and I think he overcharged me because it should have been $2. But anyway, that's still way cheaper than what I'm used to. You know what I mean? So taxis, just getting around town, $2-3. Ubers there are a little bit more expensive, not too expensive, but just find a taxi. Now, taxis in other countries are super expensive, so it just depends on which one it is, and it depends on you just got to pay attention to the country and see what's cheap and what's not cheap. Public transportation, more than likely 99% of the time, is going to be the cheapest way to travel. It's nothing wrong with getting on the bus. Some people have anxiety. Some people are scared they're going to get lost. I ask questions. My Spanish is pretty proficient. Obviously, if you don't speak Spanish, but even still, I've met a lot of tourists who don't speak any type of Spanish and went to Spanish-speaking countries and was getting around just like me. So, depending on where you are and where you're from and your confidence level and your comfortability, on riding a public transportation, is really not that bad. I actually find riding public transportation in other countries a lot easier than right here in the States, probably because I'm not used to riding it here in the States. But I've been all over countries. For example, I went to Dominican Republic. I stayed there for several months. Probably, I forgot how many months, but during the pandemic year, I stayed there for several months, and I used the bus everywhere. I used the bus to get everywhere. It was a whole lot cheaper than getting a private car or whatever, or riding a plane. I got from the southern part of Santo Domingo, which is the very southern part of the country, all the way up to the northern part of the country for like $8 on a coach bus. And it was air conditioned, it was nice, it had a bathroom, it was great. And this was literally like $8. So just depending on that country, and the economy in that country, just pay attention to what's cheaper. You can save so much money. In the recent country that I just came from, when I got off the bus, I automatically was getting ready to order an Uber, waiting forever for Ubers were really hard to get, and mainly because I didn't have internet, so I had to connect with internet and all that good stuff. But I found out that the place was like a 20-minute walk from where I was. And even though I had my backpack on, which was like 30-40 pounds, I ended up just walking to my hotel. It was, and I just saved money just by walking. And I saved a lot of money by walking. And like I said, it may not seem significant, but all those dollars that you save, $5 here, $7 here, all that adds up. So that way, when you are hit with something that you have to pay, like you have to pay this, a tax or something or whatever, unexpected fees from your hotel or whatever, or your Airbnb, your hostel, whatever you're staying at, you know what I'm saying, you're in a better place to pay it because of the fact that you've been saving money in other areas. So that's just something that I've learned over time. If you can save the money, then go ahead. I'm not a person who just blows a bunch of money for no reason. Like, I've always been very strategic in saving money ever since I can remember, honestly. So I'm very using better choices, and that way, when you do want to splurge and get you some drinks, get you some good food or whatever, you don't feel like, dang, I'm just blowing so much money, because you've been diligently, making good choices financially. So transportation can definitely save you a lot of money, just depending on the country, depending on what is the cheapest in that country. Ubers could be very expensive in some countries. Every country actually doesn't have Uber. Taxis, there's just different places, different things. One country I went to, there was this app called BlaBlaCar, and it never worked for me because it's extremely unreliable. BlaBlaCar is basically sharing the cost, like it's a shared ride system. Like I said, for me, it wasn't beneficial nor helpful, but I heard about it through some people from Mexico who were in Brazil when I was in Brazil. And basically, you sign up in this app, and you sign up to be in somebody's car that's going the direction that you're going to. You obviously type in where you're going, and let's just say there's 3 people already in the car, or 2 people in the car. But the thing is, it's extremely unreliable because they can just drop you with no notice. You'll just be waiting for them. Some people are reliable. You're never going to know which one you're with. They can cancel you last minute. I got canceled the day of my trip, you know what I mean? So some things are unreliable, but every country has their own little app system and stuff like that. So definitely ways to save money in transportation. So moving on, next one, I have my notes here. Next one is your place to stay. So basically it's up to you where you want to stay. If you want to stay in a nice fancy hotel, I am most of the time a solo traveler, so definitely not staying in no 5-star hotel paying $500 a night for no reason. I'm gonna be by myself. I'm gonna not get a chance to meet anybody. It's just kind of like messing up the whole experience. And then anytime you do stay in a fancy hotel, more than likely you're gonna be around a bunch of people from the United States or Europe. That's usually how that goes, and that's not what I want. I want to be in the heart of the people. I want to get the whole true experience. So I will stay in hostels, I'll stay in Airbnbs, I'll stay in things along that nature, like private rented out homes and stuff like that. I'll do that type of stuff, and you can save a lot of money there, which brings me into the next way to save money, which is cooking your own food. So cutting back from the 5-star hotels, finding Airbnbs and hostels, amazing way to save money. Finding a hostel or Airbnb with a kitchen, you can save a lot of money that way as well by cooking your own food, because a lot of these countries you actually can get fresh vegetables and fruits and just rice and whatever, chicken and all this type of stuff, super cheap. And then a lot of the times you're walking places anyways. I walk to the supermarket almost every single day and just get fresh food, something to make every day. I mean, it's not like you're traveling and working 9 to 5 and need to wait to get home to cook and all that. I mean, you prep your food every day. So I would go and walk to the store and get some fresh bread and eggs and all that type of stuff, and make me a little breakfast, and make my dinner, and save a lot of money, eat nice food, and it's all up to you. It's up to you how you want to cook it or whatever. And then, of course, if you want to, that weekend or whatever day, just go out to a nice restaurant and splurge, whatever you want. So it's just up to you. But these are just ways that I have saved money, lots of money. Cooking saved me a lot of money. I lived in Puerto Rico for some months, and I cooked every day. I think I probably went out one time in Puerto Rico, and I was there for several months. Yeah, I cooked a lot. Puerto Rico is actually very expensive. Well, San Juan is very expensive. So I personally think it's a little bit more expensive than the States, some stuff. So yeah, I definitely was not eating out every day there. And just cooking definitely You can't go wrong. So that is another one. The next one on activities, bundling your activities. Depending on what you want to do. I love to snorkel. I love to swim, stuff like that. Some beaches you have to pay for. The more private beaches, obviously. In Jamaica, we paid for some private beaches. It's not super expensive, but like $6, $7, something like that, whatever. Which actually, now I think about that, is kind of expensive. But anyways, depending on what you want to do, I would recommend bundling your activities. If you know you want to go swim with dolphins and go snorkeling and go horseback riding, instead of paying each individual company, try to find you a big package, a company that sells all these together. And in that way, you can kind of have your day planned out or your week planned out, get it all together, get you a bundle of all of these excursions. And sometimes they'll even throw in other stuff that you can do. So I think that's super helpful. I've done that in a few countries that I've been to, kind of bundling your activities. And then there's always free stuff to do as well. You just got to look it up. Every country that you go to, just start looking up the activities to do in there. Start talking around, asking people. They'll be able to tell you what companies are reputable, which ones are not, which ones to stay away from. And it's just very helpful to bundle your activities if you're trying to save a little, money here and there. The next one is washing your own clothes. Like I said, these are ways that you can save money when you're traveling long term. A lot of my trips have been longer term, weeks, months. Now, obviously, some of these tips may not apply if you're just going to be taking a trip to California for 2 days, 3 days. You know what I mean? So it's mainly the longer term trip. So washing your own clothes actually is helpful. I would recommend washing your clothes every day or every other day. Don't let it pile up. Whenever there's sun, because there may not be sun all the time, wash your clothes, hang it up. If you wear it, wash it. If you're able to wear it more than once, that's fine. I know with me, I go to a lot of hot climate places, so I can't wear my stuff more than once. I don't like getting sweaty. I don't like sweat being in my clothes. I gotta wash it. So get you some detergent, get your little scrub brush or whatever. There's always, I'm sure, buckets provided at these places. Or you can just buy one. But either way, wash your clothes yourself. You can save money. Some places actually charge a lot to wash clothes. And then if you just don't feel like it, like I said, that's a kind of up in the air. I have been to some countries that will charge like $20 for a load like this. In some countries, you can wash your clothes for $3. You know what I mean? So it just depends. A lot of these countries don't have the type of washaterias that we have here in the States, where you put the quarters in and, it does it for you. Most of these countries, you have to go, it's like a dry cleaning thing. You take it there and you have to wait days to get your clothes back. It's really annoying. To find like a coin operated washateria was actually really hard to find. I don't think I've seen it except when I went to Brazil. So, and that wasn't very common. It was only because it was in a mainly touristy area, but it's really hard to find washaterias like that anyway. So washing your own clothes can save you money. It's labor, but nevertheless, it does save you money instead of having to pay somebody to wash your clothes for you. And I would recommend washing your clothes every day or every other day. Don't let it pile up. It's going to get overwhelming, and then you're going to end up just paying for it. And it's nothing wrong with that either, but just saying, you don't want it to start piling up. That gets annoying. And the last thing is finding a buddy. So for me, I'm speaking for someone who travels by themselves a lot. Finding a buddy, if you're a solo traveler and you're staying like a Airbnb or a hostel, it's a guarantee you're going to meet somebody that you like. You're going to guarantee you're going to find somebody you click with, and y'all are going to hang out. You're going to talk. Because most of these solo travelers, they all have the same mindset. I have met so many people with the same mindset as me, who love to travel, and we just link up. We do excursions together. We go to Airbnbs together. We go to hostels together, and we travel together. We save money. We share ideas. So it definitely works. Obviously, if you're already with a buddy or a friend or a spouse or whoever you're traveling with long term, clearly y'all can already split the cost. But finding somebody who who you're cool with or whatever, or you like enough, and y'all have the same plans, like, hey, we want to go to this waterfalls here, and it's 8 hours away, then it's like y'all can travel together, you know, stay at a place where y'all can split the cost, you know, split food costs, everything. So it just depends. These are things, like I said, that has been very helpful to me, very beneficial, and I already know they'll be extremely beneficial for you as well. If you decide to travel long term by yourself, or with a friend, it's still just as much as beneficial. Yeah, so that's pretty much my video for today. Just finding these ways and giving you these ways to save a little bit of money when you're traveling long term. So check it out.